Hello folks, I hope you're having a great day today. Today I'm going to take a look at Arthur C. Clarke and his 9 billion names of God. I've had this, and I've showed you this a couple of times in the past. This is a science fiction hall of fame. It was put together by the Science Fiction Writers of America. It came out after the Nebula Award started being put out by them on an annual basis. Basically, a lot of people kind of see it as one of several books in sort of a pre-Nebula. Who would have won the Nebulas? Who do we think are the strongest stories? And basically what they did was they started from 1965, and this volume, they have all the members of the Science Fiction Writers Hall of America and write for who they think are the top short stories of all time in the science fiction genre, and then they're published in this volume. And I've done this volume for you before. And now what we're going to do is take a look at one of the Arthur C. Clarke stories in it. In fact, I'm actually going to hit the pause button after doing that and then take a look at a Fritz Lieber science fiction short story too. But we're going to be taking a look at Arthur C. Clarke's The 9 Billion Names of God. Now, when Arthur C. Clarke writes a work, he's going to have some sort of a goal in mind, a place he wants to go, some things he wants to talk about and question, some of the assumptions that you may have as a science fiction reader, or he may have as a science fiction writer, we may have about the genre. He'll start to put into questions. What's going to happen in this, it's set in the future, it's in the near future, after robots have been, and their AI have gotten to the point where robots can do a lot of accounting work. And there is this religious order out in Tibet that has sought to catalog all the names of God. And in order to do so, they've created their own language. And what they want to do is they want to bring in one of these accounting robots in their AI and reconfigure it to use their language that they've created, and then come up with all the various names of God. And then they believe, and we'll find this out about halfway through the story, maybe a third of the way, they believe that once they've found out that all the names have gone, they believe that will mean that God's mission has been fulfilled and that this world will be end. And thus they kind of seek, if you will, the end of the world. And they believe it's going to happen. Now these monks have been kind of dismissed as kind of mad, kind of crazy, but they can easily make the accounting robot, reconfigure it in order to come up with the names of God in this language they've created. And they believe it's going to take them about 100 days. So we're going to be following, our point of view is going to be the two people that are assigned to help the robot from the company. And they're going to be there on the ground level in the monks with their monastery, talking with them. And they're going to be our main point of view characters there for the last two thirds of the story. So I'll go ahead and leave it to you there. A very, very quick synopsis. It's not a long story. It's like 10 pages long. Many of Arthur C. Clarke's best short stories are not long. They're more thoughtful than they are like long, and I really appreciate that. He knows what he wants to do with the story. I recently reviewed for you another short story that I wrote that I thought was really good too. It has a similar sort of style of writing. That's just who he is as a person. He has these interesting insights and questions that come about. Now, he doesn't answer the questions. It doesn't seem like he has a side when he does these various stories. He just wants to offer you a question or a different way of thinking about a particular subject, but then he'll leave you as the reader to come up with what your take is on it. And I think there's value in that. As a writer, I do think that he lets you be intelligent enough to come up with your own conclusions and decisions. What actually happened? What's the value of it? Are you a more insightful reader now, a fan of a genre, that sort of thing? So I do think there's value in that sort of methodology of writing, but that's pretty much how anything he's going to do. Childhood's End. His various novels, all the way to novels in the 90s, like The Hammer of God, and so forth. But anyway, this is The 9 Billion Names of God. It was a highly rated and highly considered short story of his that was put into this collection by the Science Fiction Writers Hall of America. And I'll go ahead and link you to it below. I'm not sure if this is going to be available online. I'll do a little bit of research for you. If I can't find it online, I'll just link you to this collection. I've linked this collection a couple times before when I was unable to find a short story in it. But anyway, there you are. There's 9 Billion Names of God. Have you read it? What did you think about it? Is there anything you want to talk about? If you want to talk about the end, I'm happy to kind of drill down it with you, or some details in the story. Do you like it? Did you dislike it? Happy to engage you with that further. If you liked this video, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, because there's going to be so many more of these videos to follow. lots of reviews of fantasy, science fiction, and horror stories should be coming down the packs. Both ones by authors you've heard of, as well as ones you may have forgotten and are forgotten classics. They're going to be coming down the pike for your consideration. And finally, hey, if you watch this video all the way to the end, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of here today. We all have such busy days and busy lives. So the fact that you spent this time with me, that's very humbling, and I appreciate that. So once again, thanks and have a good one.